March might be one of the most important token months we've had in quite a while in Marvel Snap. We've got the new objective keyword coming out. Which of these new cards are actually worth your tokens and which ones are trapped to avoid? You're in the right place. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Kicker of Elves here. Hope y'all are having a fantastic day wherever you're at. At the time you're watching this, the new season will be out tomorrow, and I've never been so relieved for a chance at a reset. The past 2 months have been rough. Let's not beat around the bush with Star-Lord and then Sholau preceding it. Players are looking for a change. People like me who absolutely love the game are ready for a shakeup, and hopefully March is going to be just that with the introduction of a new keyword. Today we're going to take a look down at all the cards coming out in March, give my early thoughts and reviews on them so you can know what to save for and what you might be able to skip out on. Let's start with our season pass card, Mr. N. Sabah Nur. He is an objective card with 4 cost, 5 power, and text that reads, Objective, have a full front row at each location. Transform into Apocalypse, Celestials Chosen. Apocalypse Celestials Chosen reveals, on reveal, swap the lowest power card in your front row at any location with a card from your deck. He is a 4/8. So, objective being the new keyword in Marvel Snap, it basically works like a more like an end of turn that's tracked across multiple turns. Basically, it's going to look and see, is this condition met once the card is in play, regardless of whether the condition was met before the card was played or after it was played. It'll check at the very end of the turn after everything else resolves and says, okay, did this happen? And if so, the effect will happen once per game. For En Sabah Nur, transforming into Apocalypse Celestials Chosen, getting 3 power buff, and effectively lockjawing your lowest power card. Pretty good. I think this is pretty good. I think first and foremost, I'm very happy to read a season pass card, not have a reaction be like, oh no, this is going to be crazy. Star-Lord kind of snuck up on us, but Sholau was something where it was just obvious from the outset of like, this card's going to be freaking nuts. So En Sabah Nur doesn't look completely broken. I'm giving this like a 6 out of 10 out of the gate. I think its ability, I think this is an interesting way to start off the objective keyword. As we're going to talk through, there's very clearly an idea of doing like there's some Patriot buffs this season without buffing Patriot. There are cards that care about cards that don't have any text on them. This, while Apocalypse Celestials Chosen and Sabah Nur is not one that's explicitly saying that, playing cards like Squirrel Girl, Debris, those are premier cards everybody has access to that can make it very easy to fill your front row locations. And then Apocalypse Celestial Chosen, on reveal, lockjawing the lowest power card at any location, most commonly going to be a hood. Pretty good. Granted, you have to be very careful and mindful when you're doing this. You don't want to just swap something that can get buffed up later on for a card you don't want. Like, obviously, when you're popping off and doing the hood, that's pretty good. But even then, this is a card that is scaling. It's not exponentially. It effectively doesn't have the word double on it anywhere. Copying it isn't going to give you a ton of impact the way you can with Star-Lord or, let's say, putting Sholau's buff onto a Maverick or a Scarlet Spider. So I think this card, obviously, is the season pass card. This is the new card everybody's going to have the easiest access to, and it'll probably get a lot of play. But this is not something where it's like, oh, you've got, based on its power, I'm not saying, oh, you've got to get the season pass just to get this card. The season pass is the best value in the game consistently, and this is our first objective card. I think this is something everybody's going to want to get their hands on, but it doesn't look to be insanely overpowered. A card that frankly does look very overpowered is Isca the Unbeaten, the super premium season pass card. She is a 4 cost, 3 power card with the text end of turn. If you're losing this location, double this card's power. So in the data mines, I believe this was a 3/2. Changing it to a 4/3 does help, but this is an easy 9 out of 10. This is probably the strongest card of the month. And if you look back at Sholau and Star-Lord specifically, and even most of the other season pass cards since the super premium season pass card's been released, in most cases, it's been the regular season pass card that's been the very strong one. In the case of September, Sparky was significantly stronger than Viv Vision, but I feel like at that time, the move deck hadn't fully settled on like how Sparky was like very, very strong. It didn't happen until November. In November, the Man Spider significantly better than Spider Punk, but the meta was so like Shadow King was the premier tech card. Like every deck was running Shadow King that wasn't trying to do move stuff. That was when move Human Torch move was at its height, running Sparky, so it wasn't as apparent there. If Star-Lord was the only way the situation at launch with Star-Lord could have been worse was if Star-Lord was the super premium season pass card, because then it'd just be like, oh, not only is this pay to win, but I've got to pay extra to get access to the super broken card. Yeah, I mean, I guess in December, Adamantium Infusion was better than Weapon X, but neither of those cards really set the world on fire. Isca the Unbeaten, I think, is that is my biggest worry. She's very strong, and she's a super premium season pass card. If I'm low on 9, I'm honestly worried if I'm shooting low on Isca by saying 9, which is crazy, because even with Invisible Woman first step, this is going to be huge. But even just doing stuff like playing, I'm stealing this from Smiles over Snap Academy on YouTube, but he was like, oh, you play Storm and you play this and you win that location. Because it is end of turn, it is potentially doubling every turn. Playing it into a location that you're losing might be better, because she doubles once. She goes from 4-3 to 4-6. She's still losing. She goes to 4-12. Still losing there. 4-24. Like, it is almost better to be playing her and like storming into a location that like, oh, I'm gonna be able to get 2 ticks off this. What are they gonna do? Play Jeff or move Vision or play Doctor Doom? It's an end of turn ability. If they move something in there to try and surprise you on the last location, you're going to double again. Once it doubles twice and it's at a 12 doubling again, that's a 12 power boost. That's very hard to deal with. Invisible Woman first step stuff. This card just looks freaking nuts. And I have a feeling this is going to be this is the card people are complaining about. And I hope I'm wrong on this one. I hope this is like a 4 10 card. People are like, oh yeah, it's, you don't really run this. I don't see how it's going to happen, but Snap needs a break. It's cool that they're adding new keyword cards. Having a really strong super premium season pass card isn't what the game needs right now. But Isca looks very strong. Very strong. New characters: Juggernaut, Horseman of War. 2 cost, 2 power card. Text: objective: have 6 different powers among your other cards in play, plus 6 power. This is like a 3 out of 10 card. This condition is much more difficult to meet than you think. You need 6 different powers among your other cards in play. I know KM Best said this could be like a very strong card in Supergiant and nothing else. I, as a Juggernaut lover, as a lover of game plans where you win one location with points and steal a location with Juggernaut, I'm a little bummed that the next Juggernaut doesn't look very good. But 6 different powers among your other cards in play. So it's like the opposite of Cerebro. And for that payoff, you get 6 power. It just doesn't feel worth it in a lot of cases. This might be I believe this is the card that's going to launch in Series 5 cards with the start of the season. So this can end up being a pretty easy skip for folks. Yeah, does not seem that great. Next, we've got Gambit, Horseman of Death. 3 cost, 3 power card. Objective: play 5 total cost of created cards. Randomly destroy up to 4 total cost of enemy cards. So this is like a mixture of like, sidebar here if you made it. If you made it this far and you like what I'm doing on the channel, hit that subscribe button. Helps out a ton. Like, comment, do all that stuff. Really helps out the channel a bunch. We're on the road to 1,500 subs. If you made it this far, let me ramble briefly. So back in like November when I had like 50 subscribers, I kind of did a video that was like too early for me to do. Like even now, it's like if I had the foresight of like maybe I should do this video, I'd be like, I don't know if I have enough people that would care about this. But I did a video of my top 5 most hated cards in the game. It's like nobody. I just got like 40 views on the channel. No one watched it. It was fine. It was interesting. It was a good lesson of like, oh yeah, people want to hear about decks and stuff to make them better at the game. They don't care about this Kicker of Elves, this random 50 subscriber YouTube channels, like most hated cards. What is that? So people did not see that. People did not see that Gambit was my number 1 and is my number 1 most hated card in the game. If you've been a long time watcher of the channel, you know my disdain for Victoria Hand and my joy that it was nerfed. I want to see Victoria Hand nerfed even more even though people aren't playing. I want it to be a 3-4. So I say all of this to say they're making a second Gambit that goes in Victoria hand. I'm just like, oh God, please don't be bad. The best thing about this card to me is that it looks like a character from Mummies Alive. If you remember that show, I only vaguely remember it, but this to me is like Mummies Alive looking character. But so this is a card that you need to play 5 total cost of created cards. VHAM wants created cards. It can't just be regular. So 5 total cost, and then it will destroy up to 4 total cost of enemy cards. I'm not going to go into the whole diatribe about like, well, how smart is it if it destroys? Will it target to make sure it maximizes value? Not going to get into that. Let's assume that they know what they're doing and they're not going to make it so that it's gonna try to get 4 every time and not just like screw things up or accidentally go over it. Oh boy. So you're copying this with Victoria hand just makes perfect sense. You're already doing that. Get 2 of these things going. I hope this card is bad. This feels like an 8 out of 10 card. I'm not looking forward to it, but this could supercharge V-Hand. This gives that deck was able to run tech very effectively when it was cheap, like Deafening Chord, like Shadow King when those cards were relevant. Those cards aren't super relevant right now. Deafening Chord disappeared off the face of the earth when it lost that 1 point of power, and it wasn't super relevant in the Star-Lord meta. But here, being able to create multiple of these and help to fill each of their own conditions, and then just being able to wipe cards off the board. There are a lot of like low power, like this can in high roll situations destroy a Maverick, destroy a Moonstone, destroy a Captain card, or destroy Kitty Pryde. There are a lot of very valuable low cost cards and that like to sit on the board, except for maybe Kitty Pryde. And this card just looks like it can deal a lot of it. Man, I hope this it's the second time I'm like, man, I hope this card's bad. Caliban, Horseman of Pestilence, 3/4. Objective, have 3 cards that are 4 cost or higher in play. Afflict the highest cost enemy card with -7 power. So I guess this is like another card that they're trying. Like, there's been that off-stated mission of like they're trying to make higher cost cards matter more, and like Chamber did a great job of that, brought ramp back into the archetype. This is a pretty easy condition to meet, and it doesn't say here. It just afflicts the highest cost enemy, not power, cost enemy card with -7 power. So in like high roll, if you're playing the ongoing deck and you hit their Iron Man with -7, that's obviously brutal. The fact that it's not limited to its location is pretty dang good. You need to be playing like a ramp deck. There aren't a lot of decks that want to play big guys that aren't like ramp or OG Star-Lord stuff, or I guess like Mr. Negative, but you don't want to run this in a negative list. This feels like a 6 or 7 out of 10, leaning more towards 6. Not in love with this, but this also seems like a pretty easy condition to meet. And if we're in like another Wiccany sort of meta, this could be a pretty good just like tempo you play, provided that you are trying to play, you play this guy on 3, a 4 on 4, a 5 on 5, a 6 on 6. That isn't the typical structure that we're seeing, like maybe in a super giant sense. I'm not coming up with any list other than ramp that jump to mind that really want this. And ramp wants to be playing a ramp card on 3, so I can play a 5 on 4, a 6 on 5, and then bing bang boom on 7, for example. So it's hard to imagine where this goes, but on face the power seems pretty solid. Selene, Horseman of Famine. We got a lot of objectives. They learned from when they launched Activate. I think it was like just Symbiote Spider-Man. That was the only Activate card for a while. Like Scarlet Spider. Like they didn't like, they're doing, here's a new keyword, here's a new objective keyword, here's a bunch of objective cards. She's a 4 cost, 4 power card with the text objective. Have 3 cards with no abilities in play. Steal 5 power from an enemy card here. So this play is for a 4/9, but this you can start to see. Here's some Patriot buffs. I love this. No one's gonna believe me that I was saying this, but I remember seeing like there's a lot of, whether it was in a KM video or just a podcast, people talking like, Patriot needs something else. And I remember thinking like, what if like Patriot had a secondary ability, or another card came out that made it so like all the cards with no abilities like stole power from something. I was thinking in that space. Glenn Jones, hire me. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to do that. But yeah, rambling a lot. I'm tired. This season has completely drained me. I'm happy to be talking about new cards. And for those of you who've made it this far and are bearing with the rambling, you're great. Appreciate you. Hope you're having a good day. But yeah, this is cool. This is support. Even on its face value, this is a support Patriot card. I like that. I like that they're getting more toys for this. I think at a 4.9 or 4.9. It's 4.9, and then it's actually like 4.14 because stealing from an enemy card here. Again, the tiredness. That's pretty dang good stats. It's hard to imagine what a Patriot deck looks like, but it's going to. I imagine for a while it will feature this and 2 other cards that we'll talk about shortly. It's very narrow in scope, but I feel like this is a 7 or 8 out of 10 in those Patriot lists. I think time will tell if that 4.14 play is enough for her, or if we just want to, or if there's other we want to put a tech card in here, because I think 2 other cards that we're going to talk about soon are going to end up being very strong. But I like Celine. I'm leaning more towards 8 out of 10 on her. I know this is Kang, but just the Pharaoh visual with the gun in his hand is very funny to me. Ramatut, 4 cost, 5 power. On reveal, use 3 odd reveals from cards released before Ramatut's time. There's a list out there of all the potential on reveals that he could use. I don't know if that's the final say or if that's the official word from the devs. I don't know what that's like, but I often say I really dislike when people are like, oh, it's not a good card, but it's a fun card, or it's not a super competitive card, but it's a fun card. Maybe it's just me, maybe you feel differently. This is a PvP only game. I am not having fun when I'm losing a bunch. So if a card is not a good card, calling it a fun card doesn't make sense to me. It's a bad card. It's a good card or a bad card. You can't say it's fun because its text is cool, because I'm not having fun being, oh, woo, look at release Grandmaster going off here. It's moving a card to the middle. That's fun. I just lost 4 cubes 3 games in a row. Not fun. Ramatut might be the first card that's actually is a fun card that you get for the sake of it, because this is so ridiculous. We're gonna Black Panther Arnim Zola and then MODOK your entire hand on turn 4 and just be like, well, gotta go with it. You're gonna play this in Proving Grounds, and that's gonna be the extent of it. But this might be the first, this card is not good. This is on a power level sense a 4 or a 3 out of 10, because its consistency is going to be completely out the window in terms of what it can do and what it can bring to the table. But 3 random honor reveals on a 4/5 body is just ridiculous enough to be you might just need to get him for the lulz on this one and have your Proving Grounds deck. There's nothing competitive about this card. It is randomness for the sake of randomness, but it has gone so far in that direction that you kind of have to love it. All right, let's talk about the 2 Series 4 cards are the cards I'm most excited about this season. We're going to talk about these together. Sandstorm. Sandstorm is a 2-cost skill that says on reveal, add 2 rocks to your hand. Give them +1 power for each of your front row characters. You see this. You see Sabah Nur. You see Celine. You play cards like Debris and Squirrel Girl. It is easy to fill the front rows of your location. You can get yourself 2 1/6 rocks. 1/6, pretty good. That's a demon. And then you've got Ozymandias, who is a 5/9. That says ongoing, your rocks have +3 power. We have got a legitimate rocks deck. Debris, Ozymandias, Sandstorm, and then just doing other Patriot stuff. You got your hood, and Sabah Nur can flip out the hood when you keep your demon. I am so hopeful that this deck isn't like Horde, where it just gets got completely. This feels very strong. On a podcast that we did a month and a half ago now on Snap Judgments, it was a banger. Smiles had pointed out that Ozymandias could be good with Supergiant, and that feels pretty cool. Playing Supergiant on 4, hiding Ozymandias on 5, and then all your rocks get +3 power on 6. I'm excited for both of these. Sandstorm's an 8 out of 10, and so is Ozymandias. I'm going to swing big on these. I'm hopeful. I'm going to put the positivity out there into the world, that these rock decks become legitimate, because I'd love for Patriot to have a bit more love versus like a V hand, for example. And that's the season. We got new locations, but who gives a crap about that? Those are my reviews for the card. I think the card of the month, even though like I did a couple 8 out of 10s, I think Isca as a 9, far and away the best card this month. Followed by, I hope it's not Gambit. It might be Gambit. Yeah, it might be number 2. I really hope it isn't. But I'm a believer in this Sandstorm, Ozymandias, maybe Selene sneaks its way into it, no ability rock decks. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I really hope people forget about Star-Lord. I'm sure many of you feel the same. If you enjoy what I'm doing, if you want weekly meta reports, deck guides, card reviews that understand the true value of tokens in your account, you're in the right place. Hit that sub button, Kicker of Elves. We got tons of good stuff. There's tons of good stuff you can watch right now on the channel. In just a couple of moments, you'll be seeing a little recommended video. Check that out. It's a cool piece of Marvel Snap content. We're on the road to 1,500 subs. Keep us going. Keep everything going there. Hoping to do giveaways this week. I don't know when that will be happening, but I'll be announcing and giving away some season passes, hopefully at the start of the season, except unlike the middle to the end of the season like I've done these past 2 months, because that's just how things have rolled. Be great for folks who are watching the video to get the season pass early on so they can capitalize on the weekend missions. So thank you all very much for watching. Again, check out the video on your screen right now. Another cool, groovy piece of Marvel Snap content. I'm Kicker of Elves, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.